boys and girls. Today is our second math lesson in our second chapter, so let's look at our objective and then we'll get started. After this lesson, we should be able to model division of two-digit divisors with base 10 blocks. We've talked about base 10 blocks and how they're manipulatives before, but we're just going to review what they look like, and I'm going to show you how to draw them if you don't have base 10 blocks. So here are my magnetic base 10 blocks. This is a large cube, which is 1,000, and you just draw it by drawing a cube. This is a flat, which is worth 100, and you just draw it by drawing a square. This is a long, it's worth 10, and if you need to draw it, it's just a straight line. And this is a small cube, worth 1, and if you need to draw it, you just draw a dot. If you realize, everything is made up of our small cubes. So our small cube, of course, is just one small cube. Our long is made up of 10 small cubes. Our flat is made up of 100 small cubes, which means it's made up of 10 longs. So if I put 10 longs side by side, I would have 100 or a flat. And then our large cube is made up of 1,000 small cubes, which is pretty cool when you think that they're all made out of each other. So I'll tell you that today's lesson may seem a little tricky, and that's okay. You can look back at this lesson as many times as you want. You can message me if you need more help, and you can pause me and rewind as many times as you need. So when we look at our division problem, we have 165, which is our dividend, divided by 11, which is our divisor. When you are trying to divide using base 10 blocks, the first thing I want you to do is draw yourself a bank. Just a box, and I put the word bank so that I know what this is. And what you're going to put in your bank is you are going to break your dividend into base 10 blocks. So I need to represent 165 by using base 10 blocks. Well, let's see. Let's start in the hundreds place. I have 100. How many of my flats am I going to need? 1, because I'm representing 100. So I'm going to draw my flat in here. Okay, then I have 6 tens, or 60. So I'm going to look at my longs, and I'm going to draw 6 lines because I need 60. So I have 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I have 160, and then I have 5 ones. So how many small cubes am I going to need to draw? 5, that's right. And my goal is to show this division problem using what I have. But if you remember, we talked about a flat is made up of how many longs? 10. So I want you to keep that in mind. The first thing that you do is you look at your divisor. That tells me I need 11 equal groups. I'm always going to take my divisor and it's going to be drawn down. This is worth 100. But how many groups does it have in it? We just talked about it. How many longs? 10. So I can take my flat and draw it there, and that is worth 10 groups. How many did I say I needed? 11. So I've used my long, and if I need one more group, I'm going to use, I've used my flat, I'm going to use a long now. So I now have 10, 11 going down. My goal is to make this into a square that is equal all the way around. So I have 100, 10, or 11 groups. Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 longs left. And I'm going to try to make this going this way next. Okay, so you go down with your groups first, and then you go to your right. So I'm just going to draw what I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I have 5 small cubes, or 5 dots, and I'm going to put them right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is my picture even? Does it make a complete rectangle? Yeah, it does, right? I have 11 groups, and if I add all of these up, I have 100, 110, 120, across the top, and I'm going to count. Well, this is 10 groups, right? Because if you look inside our flat, I don't know how well you can see this, I have 10 longs or 10 groups. So if I count across the top, I have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I have 15 inside my 11 equal groups. So 165 divided by 11 is just 15. Okay? Now, we didn't have to regroup it all in this one, and I can mark them out because I used all of them. In our next problem, we're going to have to do something called regrouping because we always want it to be even all the way on all of our sides or all the way around. You'll notice once we start to do this one, it's not going to be even. So we're going to have to change out or exchange maybe a flat for some longs or a long for some small cubes. So you always just have to remember that you can figure out my flat has how many longs in it? 10. So I can always exchange one flat for 10 longs, okay? If I have a long and I need some more small cubes or some more singles, this has 10 singles in it. So I can exchange one long for 10 singles. It's just like when you have money. I give you $1, you could give me 10 dimes, right? They're equal, they're just shown differently. So let's get started with this problem. We have 216 divided by 18. Let's start with our bank. Which number do we need to represent in our bank? Our dividend, correct. So we need 216. Start in our hundreds place. We need 200s. So how many flats do we need? 2. So we have 100, 200. How many 10s do we need? 1. And how do we represent our 10s? By drawing a line. So we have 210 right now, but we need 216. So how many 1s do we need? 6. So let's go ahead and draw those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you remember, our next step is to look at our divisor, and that tells us how many groups. We need 18 groups, and we always do that coming down. We said this represents 100, or how many groups? 10 groups, because it has 10 longs inside of it. So I have 10, so I've used that. All right, I need 8 more groups, so I'll just use 8 longs. Oh wait, I only have 1. Who can I borrow from to get more longs so I can have enough groups? Awesome job, guys. I'm going to exchange my flat for 10 longs. So I'm going to get rid of this flat, and I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 longs in exchange for my flat. Okay? So we have our 10 groups. We still need 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I used 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This just helps me remember what I have left, okay guys? So I have my 18 groups. Now I need to place what I have left. Well, I have 3 longs left. So 1, 2, 3. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm done, right? Not quite. Remember we said we always want a picture to be even. And that's not even, is it? No. I need some more dots to make all of these even. So what can I exchange? What did we talk about? I can exchange something for our small cubes or our dots. along, right? So I'm gonna exchange one of my longs. So I'm gonna erase what I have up here that I just added because it didn't quite work. I'm gonna exchange one of my longs for how many small cubes will I get? If I give you one long, how many cubes would you give me back? 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now let's try to finish our picture. I have 2 longs that I need to place. Use them up. Now I have 16 singles or 16 small cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have used all of my dots. Is my picture even? Yes, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all the way across, and 1, 2, 3 at the top. Okay? So my picture is now completely even. I have my 18 groups, and then if I count total, I have 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 201, 202, 203, 204, 205, 206, 207, 208, 209, 210, 211, 212, 213, 214, 215, 216. So I have 216 broken into 18 groups. So let's find my answer. Remember, we count across the top. And how many is this worth when we're counting across the top? How many groups does it have in it? 10. This is worth 1 group. So 10, 11, 12. So 216 divided by 18 is 12. I know this may be a little complicated, boys and girls, but I promise the more you practice, the more you will understand. If you have any questions, please let me know. You just have one problem, or I want you to try to do this on your own. It's okay if you don't get it completely correct. This is just for me to see what we need to continue to work on. And don't forget, you will learn more ways to divide, and I'm sure you already know some ways. And this is not the way you have to divide in the future. I want you to try it for your assignment today, but if you don't like it after that, that's okay. There will be other ways that you can use. I hope that you at least somewhat understood today's lesson. Please let me know if you have any questions, and have a great day.